Hobby Quick Hits. Delivering that breaking hobby news directly to your earlobes. You want to know those hot drops from the card shop? We've got you covered. With your host, John Newman.
All right, guys, welcome to another edition of Hobby Quick Hits. Happy to be back. Today's show, I'm going to have a guest. We don't always have a guest on the show, but we do this week. He's my good friend, Danny Black, and he's here to talk about some things coming up the Turnpike that actually affects this show that you're listening to right here. I don't want to, I'm going to leave that as a radio tease and not give everything away. You'll hear me and Danny talk about that in the interview. We're going to go over our new releases, some hobby news, and all that before we get to Danny. But right now, let's hear from our great sponsor, Mojo Brakes, and then we'll get all the other segments going.
MojoBrakeShop.com is the best place to get your sealed wax products and brakes. They not only have the best selection, but the best prices. Whether it's a box or a whole case, they are your guys. They ship worldwide to your doorstep. Their reputation as one of the most trusted in the hobby goes unmatched. They are the 2021 Topps Rip Party Champion Breakers. From sports card to Pokemon cards, their selection can't be beat. They offer daily deals and pre-orders.
Hey guys, John Newman here. Mojo's prices are already great, but to save an additional 10% off anything in their store, use the code QUICKHITS. That's QUICKHITS. Check out the full service store that's open 7 days a week in Santa Clara, California, or the website at mojobreak.com.
Let's check out this week's hobby wax releases. Take it away, Owen.
Hey guys, Owen for the Sports Card Shop. Let's go over the weekly releases. On the 29th, we have 2022 Leaf Exotic Multisport. On the 30th, we have 2022 Bowman Chrome Baseball Light. On the 2nd, we have 2022 Panini Absolute Football. Panini 2022 Flawless Collegiate Football. 2022 Panini Revolutions WNBA Basketball. 2022 Topps Formula 1 Racing. And 2022 Topps Stadium Club Baseball. Have a great day, guys.
Let's go round the hobbyverse and catch up on this week's hobby news.
While the news cycle has certainly calmed down compared to previous levels, we do have some news this week starting November 26th, so that is underway now. This promotion runs from November 26th to March 31st by Topps. It's the Topps MVP buyback promotion, which the MVPs in baseball, Aaron Judge in the American League, Paul Goldschmidt in the National League, any Chrome cards of theirs from Topps Chrome, Chrome Logo Fractor, and Chrome Sonic, which will be out in February. All base Judge and Goldschmidt cards can be brought to your local participating card store for a $20 store credit. If you get a refractor, those are worth $40. If you get a Judge or Goldschmidt numbered between $150 and $399, you can redeem those for $100. If you get one numbered between $25 and $99, those are worth $200 a piece in store credit. If you have a lot, check with your store to make sure they can handle that intake. If you don't have a local card store near you, you can also submit your cards through Steel City is participating. Blowout and David Adams are all participating, and ComC. You can also redeem them there. So Steel City, Blowout, David Adams, ComC, and your local participating card store. Our own sponsor, sports card shop at Moco in New Buffalo, Michigan. They are participating as well. So great way to get sort of almost, I almost want to say you can't lose. If you pull one of each of those, there's $40. If that's a blaster box, you've already made out. So not a bad deal there. It's a great idea by Fanatics/Tops to drive business to LCSs. LCSs are a huge part of where they're going to go, and I'm glad to see that they're doing something like that to sort of, they know where their bread is buttered and they're taking care of those LCS owners. That's my take on it, and I hope that continues and not just an anomaly. I hope it's a regular thing. So, hey, in the partnerships department, which we see almost every week now, Collectible and eBay are joining forces in a sort of limited way. They're going to start setting up or doing events together, starting with the Scope Art Show in Miami that runs from November 29th to December 4th. Collectible has also committed to put $5 million worth of cards into the eBay vault, and more to come is what I'm being told. We're going to find out what maybe some of that more to come is next Friday, or this Friday, if you're listening on show this Friday. Ezra Levine from Collectible, CEO, is going to be our guest, and you better believe that this will be a topic of discussion. Remember the Wilt 100-point game in Hershey, Pennsylvania? Well, not many people do. Not many people remember it firsthand. It was 60 years ago now. But Sam Verdini does. He was in attendance for that game 60 years ago as a 20-year-old young man. He's now 80. He still has that ticket stub. He just had it graded. It graded a PSA 1.5 miscut qualifier. That will be, it's actually up for auction at Robert Edwards Auction. So head over to REI Auctions and or I should say Robert Edwards Auctions, and only 22 copies of this exist that we know about, at least graded wise. And remember, only 4,124 people actually went to the game. So there are not many tickets in existence. I'm sure many of them got destroyed. This is a huge part of sports history, that 100-point Wilt game. So if you want a copy of that ticket stub, 1.5 MK, head over to Robert Edwards Auctions. All right, we don't always have guests on Hobby Quick Hits, but we're making an exception this week, and I'm being joined by my good friend, Danny Black. Welcome, Danny.
Good to be here. Thank you, John.
So I'm having Danny on because we've already announced this on social media, so this isn't brand new news, but we wanted to go over some of the parameters. Me and Danny, we get along, but somehow we get along, even though I'm a Steelers and he's a Ravens fan. Figure that one out. But when it comes to most other stuff, we sort of fly the same flag, and we have a good time, and we've gotten to know each other over the last couple of years, and we do a lot of content already together between Hobby Hotline and other things, and being on each other's shows. We came up with, we're like, hey, let's do something on a more regular, normal basis, and so we came up with card mentions. You can look up the word mensch to find out what that entails, but Danny's Jewish and I have Jewish heritage, so it's a play into with that, and we're going to be twice a month. We're going to go on this platform, and so what you'll see happen is that this is Hobby Quick Hits that you're listening to. When we do a card mensch episode, it will replace Hobby Quick Hits for that week. So in a sense, there'll be on an average month, you'll get 2 2 hobby quick hits and 2 card mentions, and it's going to be fun to banter with Danny, and it's going to be a different kind of show. It's not going to be all sports cards. There's going to be a sports card segment. There's going to be a sports talk segment where we're not talking about cards. We're literally just talking about what's going on the playing fields and ice and surfaces and all that stuff. And then we're even going to have a betting segment, probably the shortest segment of the 3, but where Danny will make some picks, I'll make some picks. We'll kind of keep a scorecard to see, who's the better, who's going to Vegas and who's staying in either Baltimore or New York, and it'll be fun to do that. And again, we'll run a disclaimer. That's the opinions are the host alone. Don't yell at us if you lose too much money on something we said. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to let Danny. I kind of rambled on about how the format's going to be, but Danny, fill in some blanks if you want, or what do you think?
We're still in your show. I'm going to cut you off in the future, so just get ready for it. The cool thing is basically we do this every night anyway, so we're just gonna roll tape and do our normal thing. You and I love talking sports, love talking cards, love talking the world, and now we're just going to kind of record it and let people listen in. And if they've got comments, we're happy to banter. But a lot of people don't know that you actually do root for the Steelers, and I think they should judge you on your full personality. And I think we're going to show that to them. And you know what? Despite all that, I really do love you, and I'm looking forward to the show. And you are a true mensch.
Well, I feel the same way about you. Hence, card mentions. And again, we're going to tease you. Look that up if you really want. Some people probably know, and then others are like, I got to find out what that actually means. And I think the moral of the story there too is we like to talk, right? We talk almost every day, and it just comes natural. And I think we both agreed when we wanted to do sort of a show on a regular basis together. We didn't want it to be just another, not that there's anything wrong with that, but we didn't want it just to be another sports card hobby podcast. Now there's going to be, you can't get me and you on a show and not talk about cards in some form or fashion, obviously, but we didn't want it to be 100% that. So that other sports talk segment, there's going to be some life stuff mixed in there, obviously. So it won't just be 100% cards. And I think, I don't want to speak for everyone. I think some people will find that sort of refreshing, and it's nice because we can kind of let our hair down and talk about other things. Go ahead. You're going to say.
Yeah, no, just there's so much that's really intertwined between sports and cards and betting and, our passion for all of it, and between the World Cup and college football and NFL and NBA and NHL and all this going on right now. It affects the card market, but it affects our fantasy teams and it affects what we watch. And, I think it's really just you and I enjoy all of it. So, instead of what we traditionally do is stick to kind of one corner, this gives us an opportunity to talk about whatever we want and cover it all. And I know occasionally we're going to have some guests and some people join in with us, but mostly it's going to be you and I, and we're going to have to get into shape because it's a long season. So, we'll start our gym days, and the Rocky music will play, and we'll be ready to go.
And that's the other thing, right? Me and you are both big sports fans. I got into cards because of sports. I think it's the same way with you. I'm not saying I don't want to paint with a broad brush, Danny, but I think there's a lot of people in the card space and there's nothing wrong with it, to each their own, right? As the saying goes. But there's probably there's a good percentage of people in the card space that aren't real big sports fans. They're just sort of in the card space, and whether it be dollars and cents or I don't have time to follow that stuff, and there's so many price analytic tools.
Well, this is a perfect conversation that we're going to have, because I do think that many people in the space are fans. So I think it's most. You might not think it's most. I think it's most.
I agree with you. I think it's most. But I will say this, and we're almost having our first this discussion right here. I will say this: we're similar in age. I'm a little older than you. I think back in the day, whatever that, I think more people got into cards because they were sports fans. Almost 100%, a pretty high percentage then, years and years ago. I think now the percentage is less. The majority, yes, are sports fans. I agree with you. All I'm saying is it's less than it used to be, where it almost was 100%. I think there's a good, a higher percentage of people who aren't necessarily sports fans, don't care about what place, what team is in, what's my card worth and what can I move it for. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I know some people are going to take that as a negative. I'm just saying it's a different playing field with the hobby and sports. But I think, that sports talk, when we do it, I think those people that are sports fans are going to get sort of, hey, I'm getting cards and sports now. It's kind of two for the price of one.
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, as two people who like minor league baseball, when you talk about going to games and watching prospects, in the same way you talk about a Bowman release, that all kind of ties together. And, the nice thing is sometimes we're just going to talk about going to the game and, what did you think of Francisco Alvarez or Jacob deGrom on his rehab assignment, and of course that relates to cards, but, it's really finishing the conversation that we never finish on our other shows. So this, to me, just really, finishes that conversation and brings it all around. And I'm excited to talk about all of it. I know you're terrible at picks, so I'm looking forward to running you in circles.
Listen. If you look at my DraftKings account, you wouldn't say that. I'm on a pretty good run.
I think we're ready to go at it on our episode, so I'm looking forward to it. I had a very good weekend. I'm feeling real good right now.
Yeah, and that's some of the stuff. It may be a conversation like, hey, I was in the grocery store and this happened. Just everyday life stuff, and that stuff that happens to everyone. We can all laugh or vent together, either or both, and it's going to be fun to do, and it might even affect our off the air conversations where we'll be like, hey, let's not even talk about this. We'll save it for the show. The other thing I want to mention, we're just to begin at least, we're going to, like I said, we'll be on this channel twice a month. There'll be 2 hobby quick hits. We're going to do when we don't have a guest and it's just me and you, we're going to go live on Sports Card Nation YouTube, and so people can chat, and in the chat room we'll try, considering it's going to be an audio podcast too, we'll try to react to as much as what goes on in the live chat, and then we'll release it on audio, so you can interact live potentially, and if you don't want to see our ugly mugs, you can just download the audio version. It's going to be on Sports Card Nation YouTube. I know, Danny, you're going to put it on your YouTube as well, so there'll be plenty of places to catch it, either live or after the fact.
And I think one of the things we both feel strongly about is this is something where we want feedback, because we've got no constraints. If there's something you want us to talk about in the sports world or the card world, please let us know, and we've got free reign. So we'll cover anything we want to and anything you want to hear.
Yeah, and that's where the live chat can even come into play, and obviously even without live chat, right? You can PM, DM, either one of us, and hey, I like this segment, I don't like this segment. Do you ever think about doing this? Right? I always say that's how Sports Card Nation really sort of cleaned itself up. There's always room for improvement, but from that earlier stuff, how certain segments don't exist no more because someone said, hey, I'm not, enough people said, not a big fan of that, why not this, or think about this, and like Danny just said, same thing with this show. That's how we're definitely open to constructive feedback, and just to say we're both ugly, number one, we already know that, and number two, that's not very nice. So it kills advertising, guys.
As far as you're concerned, we're gorgeous. Okay, until this hits YouTube, we're gorgeous. Okay, so for anybody who's concerned, you can advertise. It's fine. It's like Brad Pitt. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, I joked that I finished second to Brad Pitt when he was winning Sexiest Man of the Year back then, but it was really more like 1,757,432 behind him. But at least I was sort of like, nah, not really. But it's gonna be fun. I know you're looking forward to to it. I'm looking forward to it. You mentioned, well, it's not always going to be just me and you. We're going to have guests come on occasionally, and that'll be fun as well. And so hopefully, again, let us know what you think once we really full go, and that way we can put on the best show we're capable.
Well, I could not be more excited. I think your show is the perfect place to make the public announcement, since we're going to be on your channel, and I very much look forward to hearing from everybody. We released social media over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, and if you want to follow at Card Menches or either one of us, it'll be in our bios.
Yeah, we probably should spell that while we're on the air. So Card Menches is obviously Cards Easy, CARD. Menches is MENSCHES. MENSCHES. There you go. All right, Danny. Well, thanks for jumping on today and we're getting the word out. And I'm not sure when the first one will be, but we'll obviously be pre-promo in it, whether it's a Hobby Quick Hits episode or a Card Mensch episode. Everyone will know. And again, when we do record, we'll mention where we're going live, and so people who want to be in the room, chat with us, will have the ability to do so. So thanks again.
And this is the last episode. I don't cut you off more frequently, so enjoy it. Thanks for having me, buddy.
All right, see you soon.
Check out our website at www.sportscardnationpodcast.com for the new release schedule, our blog, all show episodes, and so much more.